Will skyrocketing unemployment crash housing? Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee and let's have a look at this article, which is, well, it's quite timely because it ties into some comments viewers have left on some recent videos about, well, unemployment skyrocketing and housing prices about to crumble. I thought we'd have a look at that. And what's interesting, I'm getting good old hate mail again. back in the YouTube, slow down a bit and the hate mail starts coming when you're talking about the housing crisis. That's how it is, guys. People are so bloody obsessed with property in Australia. Everyone, I think there's a lot of entitlement, honestly. A lot of people expect a lot of stuff. They expect to be able to live the life the previous generations have because I don't know why. I don't think we need to teach financial literacy at school. We need to teach stoicism. So anyway, let's check out this article here, guys. So grim news for Aussie job seekers as the market is shrinking, okay? So the market is shrinking. What is the unemployment rate? Let's we'll bring up the good old ABS, guys. Oh no, ABS. We'll go to ABS. Because they've got the unemployment rate right here on their website, and we're sitting at 4.1%. Okay, 4.1%, which isn't too bad. It's not too bad. You know what? Let's look at trading economics. Let's look at some other unemployment rates here. Can we compare unemployment rates? Indicators, yep. Let's see. Money, government, labor, job vacancies, employment rate. There we go. Well, this is the employment rate. I want the opposite of it. I want the unemployment rate. Unemployment rate. Here we go. So the unemployment rate, we can see here. Oh, there we go. Bulland, got him. We can see here we're at 4.1%. And compare to South Africa, 32.1%. Boy. America, 4.1%. Look at Europe. Germany, 6.1%. France, 7.4%. 11.2% in Spain. What about Russia? 2.4%. Well, we know why their unemployment rate is so low at the moment. India, 10%. China, 5%. Look at Africa there. Look at that unemployment rate. So, well, Kiwis, we're beating the Kiwis. There's a reason why people want to live in Australia right there. Our unemployment rate is pretty good. Canada's even worse than us, 6.5%. Boy, Europe's doing pretty bad. What about Sweden? 7.8%, 8.1%. Here we go. What about no data? Oh, no data in Greenland. Maybe that would be where we'd go. What about good old Venezuela? 5.9%. So Australia's doing pretty good. We're right there in the world with one of the lowest unemployment rates. Singapore, Japan, Russia, Switzerland, South Korea, Mexico. They'd be worried about these tariffs Trump's bringing in. Saudi Arabia, Netherlands, and Australia. So are we the first English-speaking country? Essentially, pretty much. There you go. Then the States. So let's have a look at this because our unemployment rate is not that bad. Okay? If you're looking for a new career or a pay rise, now may not be the best time. A bleak new report on the Australian job market reveals. Yeah, I mean, it may not be as hot as it once was recently, but still, compared to other markets in the global world, it's pretty good. There's an interesting takeaway here. You get people who bitch and moan about no wage increase. You got to change jobs sometimes, guys. That's the only way to steer your career. The whole boomer world of being in one job forever with one company that'll take care of you, I don't think that's a thing anymore. So, whenever a CEO or business manager says, we're like family, that's a red flag right there. Australia's job market is shrinking with employment platform behemoth, Seek, saying the peak times to either switch roles or get a pay rise are likely behind us. In its latest labour market balance report, Seek is warning Aussies the job market has become looser over the last 2 years and broadly balanced. A tight labour market means it's easier for job seekers to find work and is generally seen as better for employees, while a loose labour market means that there is more competition among job seekers for new roles. I think a lot of the people who were let go in the IT sector recently are experiencing a different market to a few years ago, particularly all the game devs that are just losing their jobs left, right, and center. It was crazy. It was so hard. You could demand more pay. You could have more opportunities. Now it's a lot harder. You can see that in the media all the time. Sieg said, the indicators revealed there were still jobs out there for those who were searching, but they were not as plentiful as they had been over the last few years. It's taking 10 weeks longer for the average job seeker to find a job, and there is more competition for roles, Seek report author Blair Chapman wrote. From a hirer perspective, this means that there are now more potential candidates to choose from, and roles should either be easier to fill than in 2022. While pointing to a bleak overall picture for employees moving forward, there are still pockets where job seekers can get ahead. Job ads for healthcare, medical, community services, development and manufacturing, transport, logistics remain elevated despite Australia's economy slowing. Well, there's one thing we should look at, an indicator. We should look at GDP here in Australia. We can go GDP growth rate. Why not? We'll look at that one for now. What's our growth rate? 0.2. So yeah, it's slowing down. Where are we? Singapore's the top. Where are we? Where's Australia? 0.2. Let's look at this chart. Yeah. Hey, it won't be easy under Albanese, guys. Hey, well, damn. Now, if we look at that on a per capita basis, which it'll make it look much worse, everyone. It means per capita we're going down. Since the GFC, since 2008, our per capita GDP growth has been below trend. So you could make an argument that our economy is depressed in that circumstance. On the other side, jobs in information, communication technology, banking and finance are no longer in demand, and demand has fallen below pre-pandemic levels. This is likely going to have flow-on effects for Aussie's next pay rise, as wages also tend to grow faster when the market is tight and employers have to offer higher wages to attract top talent. Wages can take time to reflect an imbalance in the market because of the nature of wage settings in Australia, Mr. Chapman said. Although there is a silver lining for employees, the labour market still remains tighter than 5 years ago. The report said, while the labour market was slightly loose in 2019 on average, it is a natural comparison point for use for assessing where it sits today, as it was the year before we experienced the massive disruption caused by the pandemic and the economy was relatively stable. I remember in 2019, remember the bushfires? Remember when we were discussing just all the bushfire issues and the problems people were having with that? If the Australian economy is operating at its full potential, the labour market should be a little tighter than it was in 2019 when the RBA was cutting the cash rate to encourage faster economic growth and the labour market was not tight, Mr. Chapman said. Seek's report follows Australia's official unemployment rate holding steady for 3 months at 4.1%, according to the ABS. The number of unemployed people in October was 67,000 higher than a year ago, but was still 82,000 people lower than March 2022. With employment rising by around 16,000 people and the number of unemployed up by 8,000 people, the employment rate remained at 4.1%, ABS head of Labour Statistics Bjorn Jarvis said. This was the third month in a row that the unemployment rate had been at 4.1%. This is around 0.6 percentage points above its record low of 3.5% in June 2023, but is 1.1 percentage points below March 2020, when it was at 5.2. Now, I mean, that's interesting here, okay? You know, the market is tightening a little bit. There's probably less competition for employees, so you're not going to be able to demand as much as you could. I mean, the jobs they're showing here, I mean, you know, lollipop lady, cooker, you know, they're highly competitive jobs to get. There's a lot of people there that can do these jobs. Chefs, I feel sorry for chefs. I never hear anything good about that career path at all, and they provide such an important job for people out there. You know, the road safety guys and the lollipop girls, you know, everyone quitting teaching to just hold up a stop-go sign. I mean, there's risks associated with that. You've got to be out in the sun. You're going to be hot and sweaty. When can you go to the toilet? And you'll be bored out of your mind. So, you know, there you go. There's another job you got to compete for. So, but let's look at this argument that people were saying that once unemployment rate starts ticking up, housing is going to crash. Why? Is it because people will suddenly not be able to pay their mortgages and then we'll see a decrease? Well, what I did, I asked Copilot to get me some data, and it found some data for me and helped generate a Python script, and we got it working here, and I managed to generate this little graph here. So here you go. That's the role of AI, or not AI, large language models, computational systems, where you can source data from. It does the grunt work for you for the research. It found this data from the ABS, of course, and published data and articles from mortgage, what was it, MPAA, or a mortgage organization. So here we have the unemployment rate in the blue and the mortgage default rate in the red. And you can see the default rate here is, what are we at? The Y is 0.625, 0.6%, 0.65, under 1%, under 1%, under 1%. But notice how to 2008, you've got unemployment going down. So it's falling from over 5% down to just 4.2% roundabout. But the default rate is going from 0.5 up to just about 1% of mortgages. So isn't that interesting? Unemployment's falling and mortgages are going up. Then boom, we have the GFC, 2008, 2009. Unemployment shoots right up, mortgage defaults go up, and then they start going down for a couple of years. Okay, as unemployment goes down, it goes down as well. And then as we see from, I've got the camera in the way here, from what's this, from 2011's going up, unemployment goes up, then goes down, the default rates steadily climb to 2020, where we're going 1.9%. And then after 2020, so this is the pandemic spike here, they go down. So I wonder how many of those people were already getting in trouble back here and then were able to use the mortgage holidays, all of those things to push it out a bit further. Now in 2024, it's jumped up again. And here, you know what I should do? I should get another. I should get. You know what? Maybe let's see. I'm going to see if I can do this now. To this bar chart, I'm going to ask Copilot to add. So there you go. Got it all here. So there's the chart. So I'm going to ask, what was it? Was that the 100 years one? Yeah, I did try to do a 100 years one. It wasn't, the data wasn't there. I'll go, could you overlay interest rates as a line on the 20-year graph? Okay, let's see how it goes. Also, the RBA cash rate with the 20-year bar chart. Let's see if it can figure this out for me. No, it misinterpreted it. Okay. Overlaying these data sets. Oh, maybe. No, it is. Is it doing it? It's got 24. Okay. It needs to have the right number in the population. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this works, guys. So I'll go into my little new labs. There we go. We're talking about unemployment. We're getting a lesson in okay. Well, it didn't quite do it as a line graph. So I need to learn how to actually use this Python library to display this stuff, because it's going to be really useful. I mean, this is where these type of tools are great for asking questions, and you can learn how to figure things out. You need to understand a little bit about Python to take advantage of it. But let's have a look here. We can see the cash rate shot up, and as the cash rate is going up, the default rate is going down. Then they shoot it right down. They lift it up again, and they start dropping it down. And here we go. The default rates are slowly going up, and then they keep going down, 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 down. See, this is not normal. What we're seeing here is not normal. But then it's sure. I mean, you got to feel sorry for people who honestly believed the cash rate wouldn't go up until 2024. I didn't believe them that they were going to go negative, so I locked in. I locked in at 1.99%. Now we've bumped up again. And I mean, our mortgage is small, so it's not that big a deal. But there are people who bought during this mania and pushed themselves too far. So, I mean, here we go. We've got 3 data sets. We need to do a much more rigorous analysis to see if there's any correlation between these things. This is just a bit of fun now to play with some ideas. But, I mean, there we go. There we go. I would argue it seems to be more of a relationship between the unemployment rate and mortgage default rates than the cash rate, doesn't it? Because they're plowing it down and still going up. Still going up. I mean, this just must be the oddity here, but it's been going up for years. Then shot back down and up again. Look at that cash rate. So this number here that everyone's fretting about, everyone wants to decrease, is similar to what we got back there. So guys, well, let's have a bit of a chat about all of this, eh? So, should we be worried? Are mortgage rates going to... mortgage default rate's going to skyrocket as our unemployment rate goes up. I think even if our unemployment rate goes up to rates that we've seen previously, that if our default rates are similar to what we had then, we're not going to... it's not going to be the dramatic change that people want. And I know houses are more expensive now, but you need to stop comparing houses to individual incomes. You need to compare it to household incomes. And you need to stop comparing it to the demographics that aren't at the right time to buy a house. Okay, there's a window in your life when people will buy a house, when it's usually a couple, when they're both professionals, when they're both earning money. These are the group of people. You got 2 people each earning $100,000, and that's the average. Coming together, that's a $200,000 household. You get a $800,000, well, you get an $800,000 house with a $200,000 mortgage, $600,000 deposit, $600,000 mortgage, $200,000 deposit. That's how it's going to work. So your mortgage is, well, your house is probably 6 or 4 times your household income, maybe 6 times if you're buying somewhere a bit too luxurious. And that's how it was in the past. Okay? You can't... I know it sucks, guys. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying what it is. And I don't think there's any political will to change it here in Australia. There's no demographic will to change it here in Australia. You don't suddenly have a whole group of women wanting to not work and stay at home to raise the family and take care of their own kids. No, you've got a huge push on all political spectrums for more daycare and support services. That's what's happening here in Australia. And you've got to factor that in to house prices and affordability. If you want to do it as just a solo person, you got to find a way to earn a lot more money. That's the reality of it. Welcome to Australia, guys. Anyway, take care. Have a great day. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.